Yo, what's up with it, y'all? It's JD and I'm back with another quick video. In today's video, I'm going to be posing a question. Is Rio one of the top 5 cities in the world to live a healthy and fit lifestyle? Now, before we get into the video, if you guys are interested in fitness, health, travel, overall growth content, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so you can get updated every time I drop new content. But let's get back into the video. So in this video, I'm asking a question, but I also want to give some answers from my personal experiences. And in my opinion, Rio is definitely one of the top 5 places to live in the world if you want to live a healthy and fit lifestyle. I've been here for about a month now, and I've traveled all over the world. So I've seen, Africa, I've seen South America, I've seen Asia, I've seen North America, I've seen Europe. So I've seen a lot of cultures, and I've also kind of taken note on, what type of lifestyle do these people live? Are they active? Are they eating healthy? Are they, getting good weather? Are they being social? I think all of these things kind of come into play when it comes down to if you're living a healthy and fit lifestyle, because, it's not only just physical health, it's also mental health as well. If you're, exercising every day, but you're not social, and, people in the area where you're at are kind of cold and, not very, welcoming, that kind of plays into your mental health. But I want to break this down into a few different topics. And the first topic I'm going to break down is going to be just physical exercise, access to exercise equipment, access to gyms, fitness culture in general. And in Rio de Janeiro, there's literally calisthenics setups, like calisthenics stations literally everywhere you go. I live right next to this stadium called Maracana Stadium. It's a big soccer stadium. I think they have a pretty good team. Not too sure. But there's literally around the stadium, there's 6 calisthenics stations all around the stadium. So like you walk, I don't know, maybe like 500-700 feet, boom, there goes another setup. Walk a little bit further, there goes another station. Boom, you keep going, there's more stations all around the setup, all around the stadium. And in this neighborhood in itself, if you walk like 5 minutes away from here, there's a calisthenics park. If you walk like 10 minutes down from there, there's another calisthenics park. Then they have these parks where people go play soccer. They have a mall right down the street, and this is not even near the beach. I'm kind of in the central area, and there's actually a beach volleyball court right next to a mall. So they have sand and everything, but people go over and they play volleyball there. And the volleyball that they play in Brazil is a little bit different than the volleyball that you're gonna see in United States or maybe a lot of other places in the world, because the way they do it here is they actually don't use their hands. They're using their head, they're using their shoulders, their chest, they're kicking the ball, and they use a soccer ball as well, actually. So it's not even really volleyball in general. But it's an interesting sport, but people love to play that. They play all different types of sports here. You see people playing hoop, you see people playing soccer, and people in general in this city, I believe, are fairly fit and they're fairly active. On Sundays out here, they shut down the street, the main street over there by Ipanema Beach and Copacabana Beach, and people just go walk, they go run, they skate, people go jogging, everything. And again, on the beach, there's a calisthenics setup, like probably between, out here they have like all these different posts. So I think from Ipanema Beach all the way to the end of, or from Copacabana Beach all the way to the end of Ipanema Beach, they have 12 posts, and that's a pretty long distance. And I probably say like between like postal 1, postal 2, postal 3, like between each post, there's probably maybe like 2 calisthenics stations between each post. And then there's an outdoor gym called Artrador Gym, I believe. I know it says like there's a couple different names for it. They call it Flintstones Gym as well. They have weights there with like cement weights you can use. You can do, that's where I've been going to do my leg weights. There's another calisthenics station there. You go down to the end of Ipanema Beach, there's a perfect little setup to do yoga. There's a bunch of pull-up bars over there. I set up the rings over there and get good workouts in. And a lot of times when I go over there in the evening, it's really packed. There's a bunch of different people doing different types of exercise. You got people teaching boxing over there. You got group fitness classes over there. I've seen some yoga classes over there as well. So people in Rio are pretty active. So the next subject is going to be, what type of healthy foods do you have access to? And this is one I really wanted to touch on, because for myself, I like to keep my diet fairly simple. I like to have a lot of fruits, I like to have a lot of vegetables, and I like to have some protein as well. And when it comes down to the type of fruit, vegetables, and protein that you have available out here in Rio de Janeiro, I mean, it's the only word that I can even think of is abundance, and it's super cheap. So you go to the grocery stores, they have fresh fruit, and like, mind you that we're in Brazil, so the Amazon rainforest is close. This is a tropical environment. So some of my favorite fruits are like the tropical kind, the maracujá, which is like the passion fruit, the watermelons, what else they got? Mangoes. I'm looking at some fruit right now I just bought. Star fruit. I've been crushing lychee. Lychee is something that I love, but when I was living in Hawaii, Hawaii's tropical as well. When I was living in Hawaii, lychee was super expensive. Here I can just buy a big box of it and just knock one off every day if I'd like. And when it comes down to the vegetables, I would say it's not as diverse. Maybe when I was living in, say for instance, California or some of these other places that I've been. But at the same time, you can definitely get some good quality green vegetables here. They got all different types of cabbage. They got broccoli, you know, all your basic stuff. You know what I mean? I haven't seen little things like maybe Brussels sprouts and stuff like that. But at the same time, that's kind of, I would almost say that's kind of an exotic vegetable, because when I was living in Japan, I could never find Brussels sprouts either. And when I did, they were super, super expensive. So then getting down to the meat, from what I've experienced and from what I've I don't necessarily know the actual, you know, the facts behind it in terms of what meat quality is what, but for me, at least the way that the meat's been processing in my system, the meat quality here is really good. I've been pretty much sticking to chicken and beef. I've had fish a couple times as well, but that's one thing that I've noticed is not necessarily as easy to get access to here. But in terms of like chicken and beef, and if you eat pork, then there's plenty of that, and it's super cheap. Like today I bought 2 big packs of chicken, and I believe each pack of chicken was only $2. So $4, I got 2 packs of chicken. That'll last me a couple of days. So as far as eating healthy, eating clean, I mean, this is probably one of the best places you can do that. And for me, having access to cheap, good quality produce, cheap, good quality meat is, you know, that's something that's extremely important for me. And that's something that's important for anybody if they want to live that fit and healthy lifestyle, because you are what you eat, and your diet makes a huge difference. All right, now, so the next topic that I want to touch on is going to be weather. So for me, this is a big one. And I know everybody kind of has a different comfort zone when it comes down to what type of weather they like to be in. For me personally, I like warm weather. I actually like hot weather, to be honest with you. And Rio de Janeiro suits me perfectly. Since I've been here, this is the middle of summertime right now, so keep that in mind. Since I've been here, it's probably been ranging between, I would say, 80 degrees in the evening. Maybe sometimes it hits the 70s. And during the daytime, during the peak, it's usually around like 91, 92 degrees outside. So, and this is in Fahrenheit, obviously. But for me, that's actually really good weather. I like to be in the sun. I like to be in the, you know, it's humid out here as well. So another thing is like, for your skin, it's gonna be extremely good. My skin has been feeling great since I've been out here. I've been sweating a lot, but for me, it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's something where I'm kind of getting more used to the weather, and also it's something where, you know, it's actually gonna make me want to drink more and more water, because out here you have to hydrate. So you're gonna want to have that water coming through your system. And the good thing about always putting water in your system is that you're flushing out a lot of the toxins, you're flushing out a lot of the BS in your system. Also, just to keep it real, I mean, when the weather is warm, the weather is hot, you know, it makes you want to go to the beach. And Rio de Janeiro has some of the most beautiful beaches with some of the most beautiful backdrops that you're gonna see anywhere in the world. I lived in Hawaii, and it doesn't even come close to the type of backdrops that you're gonna have in the background of the beach here, because you got the little islands off the coast, and then you got the mountains in the background, and then, I mean, it's just a beautiful spot overall. So for me, that's something I really enjoy. And I kind of want to transition into the next topic, actually, with that being said. And for me, the energy in this city is really good. So for me, this is something that's kind of more abstract, but the energy in this city is really upbeat. People are moving, you know, they're moving at their own pace, and, you know, people kind of move a little bit slower here. But the energy is really good. I feel like there's a lot of, like, I don't know, I'm in a high vibration when I'm out here. And I really notice a difference between when I'm in a place like, you know, say for instance, I was visiting my mom before I came here when I was in Maine. And Maine was super cold. couldn't really go outside, couldn't really move because it's just so cold outside. You just don't want to leave the house. So for me, my vibe was just so low when I left there. You know, I was having a good time spending time with my mom, and I was having a good time in general, just kind of, you know, being in a new environment. But at the same time, like when it came, for me, movement is medicine. You know what I mean? Movement is medicine, and good food is medicine as well. And I wasn't really able to access that movement like I wanted to. Like I wasn't getting my steps in like I am out here. You can go walk on the beach. You can go, you know, just take a stroll around the neighborhood. Go running around, you know, there's plenty of places to go running out here. So for me, these are the reasons why I kind of prefer that hotter weather, that warmer weather. I just think it suits me better. I know some people like more milder temperatures, and then some people actually even prefer the cold. But for me personally, I like this hot weather, so I think this is really a good place for me. And I think it could be potentially a good place for a lot of people if you guys came out here and gave it a try. But again, focusing on the topic of energy, another thing that I really love about Rio de Janeiro and just being in tropical environments in general is that you see these bright, vibrant colors. And, you know, you see these beautiful green palm trees, you know, you see the water. You got this area out here called Lagoa. It's beautiful. You see the green mountains, and then there's this beautiful little lagoon there. And it's just it's just lush greenery. You see these bright colors. You got the sun in the background. You got the beautiful blue ocean, blue skies. I mean, for me personally, I feed off the colors around me. And for me, when I see these bright colors, you know, it kind of lifts my spirit up. And you know, you might notice this in my videos that I like to actually wear a lot of bright colors because in general, I just feed off that energy of those bright colors. All right, so another topic, and this actually might be the last topic that I want to talk about, is the social dynamic. And for me, health is not only physical, you know, it's also mental, and it's also spiritual as well. So for me, the social dynamic here is extremely healthy because people here are kind of, you know, I would say they're more like outgoing in terms of like speaking to people. One thing I've noticed, especially in the last couple of years with everything going on in the world, whenever I'm in America, it's like people are trying to get away from me. You know what I mean? You walk down the street, somebody wants to create more space. Or if somebody comes up and, you know, if you go up and, you know, ask somebody a question, it's almost like, oh, well, get away from me. You know what I mean? But here, on the other hand, it's like a completely different dynamic. People are extremely social out here. People, you know, want to come up and talk to you. People, you know, you see people in groups together. People are, you know, going out, enjoying time at the beach together. You know, there's kind of a party culture here too. And it could be kind of a double-edged sword. Because if you're somebody who has like a vice for, you know, going out drinking and partying all the time, there's no shortage of that out here. So for me, when you have a balance of that and you have a balance of, you know, living that fit and healthy lifestyle, it's perfect. Because, you know, human beings, we're social creatures, and, you know, it's just extremely important for us to be social. For me personally, I think I'm somewhat of an introvert, and I like to have a lot of alone time. But at the same time, when I want to come out of my shell, when I want to, you know, get out into the world, I do like to be social, and I think it's extremely healthy for me to be social, and I think it's extremely healthy for anybody to be social, for that matter. So guys, we went over fitness, we went over food, we went over weather, we went over the social dynamic, and one last topic that I want to speak on, and I think this actually more so just comes from my perspective, or the perspective of somebody who's maybe a foreigner, a gringo coming into Rio, and that's going to be stress levels. Your stress levels are going to be extremely low here, or at least for me, it has been. And I think for the most part, I think it's a common theme with a lot of the foreigners that come here. Your stress levels are going to be really low. You're getting sunlight. Like I said, all these other factors are great. But then also another thing that you have to think about is the fact that you're not necessarily, you know, stressing about money or bills or, you know, all these other different things that you got going on in life. You can live an extremely simple life here. And for me personally, I think the more simple that your life is, the more healthier that you can be. Because when you have too many moving parts in your life, it creates a lot of mental stress. It creates a lot of confusion in your life as well. It's just like fitness and food. You know what I mean? When you try to overcomplicate things, when you have too many different ingredients, you know, a lot of times it's going to be a lot more difficult for our body to process these ingredients when it comes to food. And a lot of times when we, you know, try to stretch ourselves too thin when it comes down to fitness, you know, we're not really honing in on trying to improve in a specific area. So I think life in general out here is not stress-free. You know, you're never gonna be stress-free, but at the same time, it's a lot less stressful than, say, for instance, living in New York City or living in San Francisco or living in, you know, one of these big cities in the United States. So your life is going to be a lot more simple, and I think your stress levels are going to go down along with that. Now, let's just play devil's advocate here. Now, there is an aspect of, you know, the opposite end of the spectrum out here as well. If you're somebody who, you know, doesn't necessarily have focus and drive, then a place like Rio is pretty much a place full of vices. You got access to, you know, some of the most beautiful women in the world. That could be a vice. You got access to, you know, great and cheap alcoholic drinks. Like, man, I love the caipirinhas here. They're extremely delicious, and on top of that, they're super strong. So if you're somebody who likes to go out and drink, you know, they got plenty of that out here for you. All different types of bars, all different types of nightlife, and you know, they party hard out here. So, you know, a couple times my friends had went out here while I've been here, and they were out till like 5, 6, 7 in the morning. So, you know, that can compromise your sleep. So if you're doing that, and you can do that 7 days a week out here. So if you're living that type of lifestyle, the partying, you know, maybe you involved in drugs and, you know, nonstop women, you know, that on the other hand is like imbalance. So, you know, it's fine to partake in, you know, some of these things, you know, but the thing is, you have to be balanced. And for me, the way I like to try to balance it out is Monday through Friday, I treat it like a work week. Every single day I get up, I create some content, I edit my videos, I do my work for my online clients. And, you know, after that, I start prepping my food. Maybe I have a quick meal. I prep my food for the evening. And then, you know, I kind of go out into the world, enjoy myself a little bit, do a little bit of filming, train, come back home, eat dinner, and that's pretty much how it goes. And that's pretty much my day. But on the weekends, however, you know, I don't mind going out, having a couple drinks and being social and, you know, meeting new people and doing these type of things. And that's the luxury that you have living in a place like this. So for me personally, Rio is one of the best places you can live in the world from a health and fitness aspect. And like I said before, when it comes down to the health aspect, I mean on mental, physical, and spiritual level. So that's my take on it. I'd love to hear from you guys in the comment section if you guys have ever been out to Rio de Janeiro and you have your own personal opinion on whether this is a good place to be healthy and fit. Leave that down in the comment section below. Also, you guys, I'd love to hear from you guys and see what type of content that you guys would like me to put out while I'm out here in Rio. And also, just leave me some ideas for some video topics if you guys want. You know, I've got a couple good topic requests before, and I've made some videos, and you know, it seems like you guys like that. But anyways, guys, if you guys are interested in, you know, becoming the best version of yourself, go ahead and hit my website up. Book a free consultation with me. We can map out a blueprint to get you in the best shape possible, to get you in, you know, the best place possible, as healthy as possible. But I hope everybody's having a great day out there. I'll holler at you guys later. Peace.